that I would say is more far-reaching into the future. And so Yifan, welcome.
Thank you. So, thank everybody being here. And actually, yesterday, my friend Jihan actually told me, don't go too technical, because you will last everybody in 5 minutes. So today, I will try to last everybody in 20. Okay. So because it's very technical, so I will start not about blockchain or even BSN. I will start with some technology you guys are all familiar with, okay? It's called telephone, okay? Telephone was invented 1873, okay? And 100 years after that, people only be able to call each other, okay? There was no conference call. You just imagine if there's a business, thing, you need 10 people from 10 different locations, and you want to call them and make sure everybody on the same page. How you do that? You call 9 times. Remember, everybody give you feedback. So you got 1 feedback and call another 8. And they give you feedback again. And at least 600 phone calls, okay? Probably take 2 weeks. And you just finish 1 transaction, just make sure 10 people on the same page. Okay, just imagine 500,000 people. How you do that? You probably need to begin to make phone calls during the dinosaur time and have not finished until today. Okay, but a conference call, almost after 100 years, there was a conference call. So those 10 people join 1 single phone call and finish everything in 20 minutes. Just imagine why. Because the efficiency is like 1,000 times. Why? Because the data moves differently. Okay, because regular phone calls, the data always move between 2 people. So you need to pass them on, one by one. That's one-on-one phone calls. Conference call, we call that broadcasting. You broadcast the data. When someone receives it, when they give feedback, it broadcasts back. And everybody knows, whoever in this network knows each other. So that changed everything. That changed from 2 months' work to 20 minutes. Okay, I just want to give you guys a concept. So I just replace the people with machines. You guys need to realize the internet is actually built with the one-on-one phone call technology. Because even today, 99.99% all the IT systems, when they communicate with each other, is one-on-one. Okay, 99.99% of all the IT systems. Why you give human beings the rights to have conference call, not the IT systems? Give them the same rights. And if you make that happen, build all kinds of ways to make sure everything's happen, then what's called that system? It's called blockchain. That's how we say it's a new way to communicate data. Okay, if you ask anyone from crypto world, say, what's the most valuable thing about blockchain? They will answer 99% of the time. Consensus. I just want to ask them, how you make 500,000 IT system on Ethereum to reach consensus? Probably not even 500,000, like 100,000. How you make them to reach consensus in hours, even minutes? How? By calling each other one by one? Because broadcasting data. Okay, that's the key, not the consensus. Consensus is the result of this technology. Okay, so please, those 2 slides, I really want you guys to understand. This is the key, broadcasting. Okay. So what's broadcasting? Actually, there's the 3 rules. Actually, we made the 3 rules, made them up. Okay, it's not from any books. First, when a group of people, definitely a group, okay, broadcasting equals to one-on-one if there's only 2 parties. Okay, no. So when there's a group of people or IT systems, any IT system send out a data, it goes to everybody else. This is not broadcasting. This is still centralized system, okay? The second rule is when anyone replies, it's not only back to you, it's back to everybody else. And the third rule, everybody knows other people who are other people, and they also receive the same data. That's the 3 rules. Remember, the last one is very, very important. When you are on a conference call and the other guy heard the same information, then when you deal with them, it's different. Okay? The third rule is very, very important. So that's the third rule of broadcasting data communication. And there's so many benefits. Okay, more efficient, like I said, the more people you have, broadcasting is more efficient. Okay. Second one is more transparent. It's very, very important. I put this as top 1 benefit. Why? Because everybody discuss things in the open. We all know what's the process, what's the procedure, who said what. So it's easier to trust. For example, if one point to point, I talk to Felix, say, oh, they say about this, then Felix say yes. Then when I talk to Tim, I change that data. I say, okay, Felix said this, bad guy. See? Then I actually change the outcome of just for 3 persons. But in a conference call, Tim also heard what Felix told me. It's transparent. There's nothing more they can do. Transparent, very important. That's why public chain, is transparent. And also decentralized, very, very important. Okay, because, it's once I'm in the middle, I talk to everybody, passing information around, I'm centralized. They all need to trust me. But when in a conference call, each person is equal, right? They all hold same data, receive the same data, give the data to other people equally. It's decentralized and secure. It's definitely more secure because it's a conference call. You set a password, no one else can get in. Okay. And trustworthy, like I said, because transparent, so it's more trustworthy. So, I mean, this technology is not new, okay? Don't think, oh, this is new technology. Actually, when human beings live in cave, they use the same technology. When they pass information around, it's mass. Then say, everybody come to the cave. Let's sit around the fire and discuss. That's the technology, broadcasting, okay? We just realize the whole thing in the IT kind of way, okay? So what's blockchain technology? So personally, I think the blockchain technology is not there yet, okay? It's But personally, I think blockchain technology is the only operating system we call the operating system based on this broadcasting data technology. But the blockchain is very, very limited. Why? Because it reaches consensus. Back to consensus. Why? Remember, for communication, reaching consensus is a very limited type of communication. Remember how many conference calls you join, and the purpose is to reach agreement. Probably 1%. Most time you just argue with people, just throw the data to them. You don't care. Half of my conference call, I basically yell at people. Okay, I never want consensus because that's how you get information out of other people. Yeah. So. Here you see the words. This is actually the words, public IT system. I want to promote. This is a whole new concept. Because we use this kind of broadcasting data technology, the system we build become a public system, public IT system. I'm not saying public chain, okay, it's very limited. Public IT system. So, and what's public IT system? This is a little bit technical, okay? It's basically compared to all the IT systems today in the world, 99.99% of them, called back-end private IT systems. All the banks, everything, I mean, everything you are using, even your personal phones and the personal computer is back-end system because only one guy controls them or one company controls them. It's a black box. You never know what I have on my phone, okay? If you know, I wrong way, okay? So that's black box. And today, all our personal data, everything is in those black box controlled by one corporation. That's why I call private IT systems. And blockchain, just let's say very limited version of public IT system, blockchain is out there, managed by all the people. It's no longer a black box. It's transparent. Some private chain is not transparent enough, but public chain is transparent. What you mean by transparent is for black box, right? You can call the black box, the backend IT system, say, is my data there? Then they reply, yes. Can you trust it? Because it's just a black box give you information back. What's transparent is the public IT system. You are not go through whoever handle your data. You go through a third party, go through their API or your own connection, go there and through third party to verify the data is there. That's transparent. There's no back-end IT system can offer that because they only can give you their own APIs for you to call. They can always change data on the fly. So that means there will be something called public IT system infrastructure. And we need the data centers to handle that, operating systems, databases, and also the protocols, communication protocols like HTTP. Very simple, one line of coding to form a private broadcasting network. So that's what we expect. Internet become 2 layers. And this is the physical hardware and the fiber optic lines of internet. There's nothing we can change that. Okay, if we change that, we basically rebuild everything. So this will stay the same. And this layer, what we call traditional data clouds. Okay, it's the internet today. We all use that. And in those data centers, traditional data centers, what they have the point-to-point protocols, like HTTP. When I mention protocols, it's not those crypto protocols, okay? It's HTTP protocols, FTP protocols, SSH protocols, those, how you communicate between 2 points, okay? It's very technical. You guys only need to remember HTTP, okay, for visiting websites. And in those data centers, there's operating system, Linux, Windows. There's databases, it's Oracle, MySQL, like, dozens of them. And the data centers, it could be a physical internet data center. It could be clouds like AWS, Microsoft. Okay, this is the internet and what it serves. Serve back-end private IT systems and point-to-point communication. I just gave you guys a lecture on internet. Okay, what's the second layer? That's the second layer. And trust me, the second layer will also be made of all the data centers. Connecting them together becomes the second layer. So what I do to serving public IT systems and broadcasting communication. And the same thing, inside those data centers, we need broadcast protocols, which we don't have today. Some people will say gossip from a blockchain is, a broadcasting protocol is too heavy. It's too heavy, it's only for blockchain application. We need something like HTTP. You use one line of codes to join or create a broadcasting network. As simple as that. Gossip is too heavy. And we need operating system. Now, what we have, the best one out there, called blockchain. Very heavy, and it was created to issue crypto and trading cryptos. So most of that, some component will be gone. It will make much more light and efficient for traditional IT system. I will go there later. And the databases, actually there's no, but we call NFT database technology. I mean, if we go there, I need to spend another 1 hour here, okay? So for another meeting, okay? NFT is actually a database technology, okay? And the data centers, there's no such data center. Like Tim just said, when you deploy too many blockchain within your traditional data center, everything's messed up. You need a special data center to handle public IT systems because how to verify, how the data is stored, it's how to handle the certificates, authority, how to make sure all the permission is set. You need a special data centers. Now the only data center software in the world is BSN. That's what we do, okay? So that's why I call the traditional internet as private layer of the internet. And the new layer called public layer of the internet. We made up all the terms, okay? So if you ask where you get this, no books, we made up, okay? If you don't like, come here, we can discuss a new term. So that's our title, Mission Behind BSN. Actually, our mission is to promote the concept of the new public layer of the internet. Because right now, we don't really sell products because the market is not there yet. There's no usage. 99.999% of the population have no idea what I'm talking about. So market is not there yet. So our job is promoting the public layer of the internet. And that's our business, to build the fundamental cloud environment software, which is, in other terms, data centers, okay? To be this layer's foundation on which our future operating systems, communication protocols, databases, development tools, and all applications of public IT system will be created. That's our mission, to start building data centers. Virtual ones. We still build on the physical hardware. We don't change that, okay? And I think I probably lost, half of you guys what this guy is talking about. Here, I give you 4 examples. I probably spend next 10 minutes on this, okay? I gave you 4 user case, which is right now is built inside those private back-end system. Let's move them to the public IT systems. The first one, public lottery. If you guys lived in China, right now in China, nobody trusts the public lottery, okay? Because there were so many scandals, and the most important, they say, you run everything in your back-end system. When I buy a lottery, I don't even know it's under my name. You could put it in other people's name. I have no idea. Most importantly, how the random number is generated. How you generate that random number, because it's dumped in your back-end system, nobody knows. Just imagine, put all the public lottery system into a public IT system. Let's just use blockchain, okay? We can actually build the system in 2 weeks. Very simple application, 2 weeks, okay? We can actually do this right now. Which means you create each lottery as an NFT, okay? For each set, that's 10 million NFTs. And because it's a public IT system, you can enable all the commercial websites to sell it directly on those public IT systems. And when you buy, you use your private key to link to that NFT. It's yours. Nobody can get it. It's yours. And when they select a winner, it runs through a smart contract. open source, or you can just back engineer that, see how that works. Everything is public. And then you have a private key to have your own digital yuan account, and they send the money to that account. Everything is transparent. From issuing, from buying, from open, the lottery. Just imagine, everything now is on public IT system. I believe in 20 years, there will be countries, a lot of countries pass legislation. Okay, you cannot put the public lottery system inside your backend system. It's illegal in 20 years. And if in China, all the public lottery system goes into the public IT system, I guarantee you the sales will be like 10 times over 3 years. Okay, 10 times. Just imagine how big the market is if you move all the lottery system into public IT system in the world. It's $1 trillion market each year. Okay, second, actually everybody care about the second one. Now all our personal data in big corporations back-end system. For Facebook, let's use Ali. Alipay, right? Now they offer facial recognition payment method in China. So they scan my face and ask me, do I agree? I always joke about it's, they just being polite. They don't need to ask me. They can process whatever they want, okay? Technically, they don't need my consent. They can do whatever. Also, I believe in 20 years, there are so many countries will pass legislation. For user privacy data, you must call them from the public IT system. It's illegal to store personal data in your backend system. Then, some of you guys probably not very technical and say, oh, if we put our personal data on a public system, everybody can see it's even worse. Actually, technically, let me describe this. You actually build a personal data vault on public IT system. Then the 1,000 IT system, websites, apps, whatever, need to process your data, they actually call this single data vault. And remember, you have the only key. And when they call, you say, yes, you through actually a private key, okay? Technically, there's no way they can get through that. Then, and there's technology, called privacy computing, stuff like that. You just give them a yes/no answer. And that transaction finished. And remember, you don't need to manage so many passwords and usernames today. Just one private key. You live all your life with one private key. Okay? And technically, nobody can touch your data because only you have them inside your vault. European Union countries will jump into this because they have law, right? If a user want IT system to delay everything, all those IT systems must delay. Why? If we have this kind of technology, they don't even need the law because those backend systems no longer hold anything. Just imagine this. Even change the European law from 3 years ago. It's too old. Get rid of it. Next one. First, let me explain a little bit because I think I still have 15 minutes, okay? It's a metaverse. People always say, oh, metaverse it's another internet. It's not. It's just a new representation of the content, new format. If you use the internet in 1992, it's DOS interface. It's black, white, pure text. 93, 95, you have browser, you say color, you say on internet, when you saw color, that was surprising. that was amazing. Then you say videos, you say flash, now it's video streaming. And the metaverse, I think it will be just goes to another terminal, besides PC and just go to a, VR or something like that. Because, for example, if Facebook build a metaverse, it still uses Facebook's personal data. They are not going to build another system. And all the database, everything unchanged. So it's a front-end technology. Then let's say how those metaverse or just websites, how they interact in the future. Just imagine there's public IT systems. Let's still use a blockchain, right? And use the database technology I mentioned, NFT. You can build a virtual city on a blockchain. One NFT is a city. Then this city has 400 buildings. Each building is an NFT. Remember, it's a database. It has all the attributes, stuff, designs, colors, stuff like that. Then each building has 400 rooms. Each of them is an NFT. Each room has 2,000 items. It's NFT. So basically, you use 5 million, even more, NFT as single database to link together, become this city. And you can build NFT as events. Okay? There could be millions of events. Could be a meeting, could be a workspace, could be anything. Remember, it's on a public IT system. All the websites and the metaverse actually call the same city. So some users from that metaverse live in this building, third floor, 301. And some users actually in another metaverse live in next door. And when they get outdoor, and they see each other, and they talk to each other, and they are in two metaverse. So public IT system is the key to link all the metaverse to form the so-called big metaverse. Trust me, in the entire world, I explain this much better than anyone else. Okay, technically. So the last one is very simple to understand. So many governments, they need to make their data public. Okay, now they make their data public and they call them public and they still put it in their backend system, which means they can delay anytime, they can change anytime, they can do whatever they want. Put it in a true public IT system. You cannot delay. If you delay, we know it. So in 20 years, again, 20 years, I hope it's 2 years, but just not possible. In 20 years, half of the government will pass legislation that government public data must leave government's control, must leave government's backend system, go to a public IT system. Just 4 user cases, okay? I think you guys think about your own business, think about other user cases. Those 4, each one of them is $1 billion market each year. I just want to emphasize everything will be changed. Not by crypto, not by blockchain, by the layer of public IT systems. It's not up to me, okay? This is how technology evolves. So this goes to my sales page, okay? So basically what BSN is, we try to build from the data center level, build this public layer. Okay, we have to work with the technology we have today. The best technology we have today is called blockchain. That's why, but I personally think there will be much, much more efficient operating systems in the future for the public IT systems. Okay, the blockchain is too heavy, too awkward, it's just, it's just not feasible, but it's what we have today, okay? So we basically build data centers like Tim just mentioned, help the traditional cloud to build one new, cloud, to handle blockchain. And we like small companies to build their data center, connect to, some kind of, blockchain IT system for them easier to access. So that's basically, so our software is a data center software. We call that BSN VDCs, BSN Virtual Data Center. Actually, a team actually went through this. Okay, I don't go down by. We can manage on a virtual machine level. Okay, manage from a virtual machine level and manage all the operating systems like the traditional one. You go to AWS, choose a virtual machine, then choose what operating system you need, Linux stuff, then you click a button, build your instance. Same here. You choose how many virtual machines you need, and you choose what operating system you want, like Ethereum, like a Fabric, then click a button, we build the instance for you inside any cloud. Okay, that's what we do. And so I don't go through this. This is This is the BSN Technology Stack. We actually have 3 things. Actually, 2 things. BSN Enterprise and the public BSN. The probably BSN is something we try to build for that, very, very premature, but the early stage, the public IT system, we try, okay. But for the public BSN, we have actually 2 versions, one for China, one for outside China, because China has its unique internet regulations. So there's need KYC, there's need a bunch of requirements. So that's why we have the BSN DDC network. It only supports open permission blockchain. Okay, open permission blockchain is something we try to in full compliance in China, but the most close to public chain, to really, really emphasize on transparent, everybody can hold its private keys, try to, it's the best, we can do to make that as transparent as possible, but also fully in compliance with Chinese regulations. But the one outside we call BSN Spartan Network. It focuses on the public chains. Okay, we are not against the public chain. People say, oh, you guys from China, you don't do public chain. Actually, we are not. I'm a believer of public chains. So this is first time we officially announcing we are going to launch BSN Spartan Network in August. And I will spend next 5 minutes here, okay? We are not against the public chains, but we are against the crypto. So immediately half of the room beginning to hate me. Before this, I know you begin to like me, okay? Why? Because we think crypto is an application. You should not go into infrastructure and make infrastructure so expensive no other application can be built. Simple as that, because we are building a new layer on internet. You cannot make money on infrastructure. If you make money, nobody uses that. It's like, I give you an example, some, soda water, manufacturer, they go to a city, said, okay, I can build a soda water, factory, and use your water supply. Then they get greedy. They say, how we make tons of money. They say, okay, let everybody drink soda water. Then they actually, talk with the mayor, work out a plan with the city, and they actually not build the soda water factory on top of the water supply. They build that into the water supply. Then all the families, all the restaurants, when they open the tap water, is soda water. Okay, and they need to pay a lot of money for the soda water because it's not pure water anymore. What's the result? Everybody will leave the city. Nobody will build a restaurant here, factories here, because you basically force us to pay a premium on something I don't need. Because we just need the land and the pure water. This is what happens with crypto-based public chains. They build, an application into layer 1. And not false, but if you want to use public chain, you have to pay us tons of money. So that's why, until today, there's no traditional large-scale application from traditional industry, traditional IT system will use public chain today for public IT systems. Okay, they are not in the public IT system because it's not infrastructure, they are just. So our mission is to build non-crypto public chains. So that's what BSN Spartan is. We're working with Yifan's team and his portfolio companies to build non-crypto Ethereum. And we're working with 2 other public chain foundations who also have the same belief. Not only crypto, we also need to serve traditional IT system. Remember, I talked to at least 50 of them. 80% of them don't even care. And 15 of them think I'm crazy. And just 5 of them think it makes sense and no interest to do anything. So after 1 year, I only got 2.5 of them do this with us. Okay. How sad. How sad. How sad. So then you will ask how you pay for the gas from those here I'm not really against the crypto. I just say you should build on top of layer 1 as an application, as a layer 2 application. Okay. On those non-crypto public chains, you can build a bunch of cryptocurrency as long as it's legal, in compliance with local regulations. It's fun. You can market whatever you want. Don't build into the infrastructure. Okay, that's what we want. Okay, so how you pay for the gas? You use fiat money. Okay, of course, when the digital currencies will be so cheaply, then we can use USDC to pay off. But I think we will actually in the beginning to support USDC to pay for the gas. It's still expensive because you say this is infrastructure. When people move some $1, they need to pay a tax to the layer 1. That's okay. I don't want okay. But remember, also, I want to answer a huge question here. People say, okay, you guys big vision, execute, and push this. And you guys, a Chinese project and a Chinese company, how can people trust you? I always got the question, 100%. So before you guys ask me, I answer, okay? First, the Spartan project is fully open source. Okay, if you don't trust us, check codes, right? It's like the police hold a gun to you, say, do you have a gun? I say, see, I'm naked. There's no gun. I say, okay, you cool, in your stomach. I say, okay, there's X-ray, no gun. And you still point gun at me, so probably I'm, just because I'm Chinese. And the data centers will be free. Okay, you can just don't even download from us. Download from GitHub. Go through the codes. Set up the data center. You can choose which non-crypto public chains node you want to install. Install them, connect to the chain, and you begin to use it. I tell you, this is how cheap it is. Let's just use a traditional blockchain application, minting an NFT. It will cost only 1 cent US dollar. Let's go back to the lottery example. If you issue 10 million lotteries, each week, can you afford each NFT just minting costs you $20? And you sell that lottery $1. Are you crazy? So if creating that lottery only costs you 1 cent, everybody can use it. Okay, this is why called pure water. Not soda water, okay, pure water. And also, no KYC. We go with the concept of open source and the public chains, non-crypto public chain. So you can install the data center and just provide an email address, that's it. So but this is not something new. It's basically the international standard of open source project. See, Julia is laughing, that's his domain. So we have a non-crypto Ethereum. I think Yifan will talk about this more. And the 2 others still in beta because now they don't want to release their name because they are ashamed. They go non-crypto, they are ashamed. So they don't want me to talk about their name, okay? And it's for non-China market only. Okay, because it's public chain. Public chain is against the Chinese regulations. So it's for international only, inside China, open permission chain. We will officially launch beta August 31st. If you guys are technician, download it, play around with it. And that's how we together build the public IT system layer. This is definitely the future. Okay, in past 2 months, I told all my friends, all my team, the future is inevitable. Okay, we can see this so clear. Okay, and but the journey will be very challenging. Especially for Chinese project and a small Hong Kong tech startup like Ready, and we are literally single-handedly promoting this concept globally. Okay, you guys. But we hope more and more true believers of this vision will join us, and together we can, because there's so much to do. There will be operating systems, okay, like Linux. Of course, we can build something from Linux. Okay, there will be applications, there will be clouds, there will be development tools, there will be a bunch of stuff. This is a whole new world. Okay. The opportunity is, I don't know, it's just like building another internet. So it's really, really, we looking for partners. We need thousands of partners who are willing to invest in this stage. I'm not say invest to someone, it's invest your own resources to research this, understand this, develop something to test this. Okay, but not crypto. I always need to mention. And also, one reason we choose to headquartered, our Hong Kong Ready in Hong Kong, because we like the city, it's beautiful, it's powerful. So we want to build, Hong Kong as a home base for starting this global information revolution. This is a information revolution. Okay, trust me. And last, I just want to thank everybody to be here. Thank you. Listen to nonsense like this. And also, I want to thank my team. They piss me off all the time. I really, really, I don't want to mention, but I thank them. Without them, there's no BSN, there's no Reddit. And also, I really, really thank my shareholders and directors. They are either super stupid or super smart. I don't know yet. Let's say in 20 years. And Jihan just, like 20 years. Okay, my God. And also, I want to thank my partners, my friends, because it's the concept is not like we stay home and think of everything. It's we actually talk with everybody, to get feeling, to get it. Even some, international companies we don't really deal, doing any business with, but we communicate. I talked with hundreds of companies, all the public chains almost, and all the blockchain-based application companies to learn from them what's the problem, so I really, really thank them. Okay, and the last I thank Hong Kong. Okay, give us this unique location. Okay, connecting China and the world, so we can actually exchange ideas and build something together. We are human, right? I mean, probably in 1,000 years, there's no country left, just one mankind. Okay, thank you. Thank you.